So 2024 has come to an end, and looking back on the year, I have come a very long way in Geometry Dash since January. I started this year with Supersonic as my hardest, but today I have 8 Extreme Demons completed, some of them very hard ones. So to celebrate the new year, I thought I'd recap every Extreme Demon I completed in 2024. I'm not going to do a structured ranking, and instead just give you the reasoning for why I chose to play the level and what my experience was like. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Believe it or not, Auditory Breaker was the first Extreme Demon that I ever completed. At the time, I was playing Sonic Wave and had gotten stuck, so I was looking for an alternative. Auditory Breaker was the ideal choice, since it was much easier than Sonic Wave and it played very similarly, meaning I didn't need to learn new gameplay. And even though it was my first Extreme Demon, I surprisingly didn't struggle with it very much, and completed it in only a few days of playing. Much of that is because some of the most notorious choke points in the Wave section are nerfed to be more doable, and playing from the drop was actually quite fun. The only things I didn't like about Auditory Breaker were that the pre-drop was more or less identical to Sonic Wave, which made playing from the beginning pretty irritating, and while the decoration is cool and all, it was very distracting at times, in some cases obstructing the gameplay. But I still had a great time with the level, and it was a unique way for me to get my first Extreme. Sonic Wave was my dream level. If there was any goal I wanted to accomplish in Geometry Dash above all else, it was to complete Sonic Wave. The level blends the 9 circle style with a song that I particularly like, and more importantly, it has quite the legacy as a former top 1 demon. But while I like Sonic Wave for what it is, playing the level and actually trying to complete it was nothing short of infuriating. It took me far more effort than any other level I've seriously attempted. More than 70,000 attempts across multiple months, and a lot of that was spent dying at the same choke points over and over again. Dying to the pre-drop, the beginning of the wave, 49%, 65%, and 72% multiple times each got old very fast. It really was the goal and eventual accomplishment that kept me playing, and it feels incredible to finally have it completed, even if it did cost me a lot in time and effort. I was considering taking a break from Geometry Dash after Sonic Wave, but decided to come back and play some easier Extreme Demons instead. I ended up going for down base mostly because I knew it was on the easier side of 9 Circle's Extreme Demons. To my complete surprise, despite seemingly everybody hating on the level, I didn't have that bad of a time with it, and even managed to fluke the final spam. Down base certainly does have its balancing problems and inconsistencies, with the first dual wave being a very big choke point, and its decoration hasn't aged well, to say the least. But this is another level that I kinda just like for what it is, and this time I didn't have a bad experience playing it either. Balengu Vortex is a level that was recommended to me by a friend. After completing down base, I wasn't sure what level I wanted to go for next, and Balengu Vortex was recommended as one of the better balanced and better synced 9 Circles Extreme Demons. And even though it took me quite a while to complete at around 2 weeks, I would say Balengu Vortex is one of the best Extreme Demons that I've played. Learning the level was a bit of a pain, since it uses a lot of unconventional wave gameplay, including a lot of portal clicks and mixed duels. But my progress from the beginning was surprisingly consistent. I do think the level gets less consistent from about 62% onward, but I still found it to be overall very enjoyable, and definitely a level I would recommend to others. Azurite by Royen was a level that I discovered just from looking through 9 Circles Extreme Demons and their verification videos, and I decided that it was easy enough for me to give it a shot. This level was originally made on the 1.9 private server, but despite the editor limitations, I personally like this level's take on the 9 Circles style. It relies more on glow and block details rather than the classic repeating effects, and it kinda just works. Gameplay wise though, I was not quite as impressed. I definitely didn't have a bad time playing the level, but in a lot of ways, Azurite had some of the same issues as down base, at least in my experience. Particularly, the beginning of the wave had some pretty big choke points, which came in exchange for a very easy last 40% or so. But I would still say that I enjoyed the level, and it's worth trying if you like 1.9 levels or 9 circles levels like I do. The motivation for me to play Azurite by Sillow was simply that I wanted to complete at least one non-9 circles extreme. This level seemed to be a lot simpler than more popular beginner extremes like Accu and Cataclysm, so I decided to give it a shot. Overall, my feelings on this one are very mixed. I like the simple design overall and simple glow and effect decoration, but I was very much not a fan of the way straight fly was used for difficulty, since it often felt very unnatural and inconsistent. In particular, the 47% ship section became a major choke point for me because of the transition into a straight fly corridor without blocks to set you up nicely. I wouldn't say I dislike the level, but it certainly wasn't the best experience playing from the beginning. Bausha Vortex, like its successor Balengu Vortex, was recommended to me as one of the better 9 circles extreme demons. What was weird to me was that, although both of those levels are quite similar, I had very different experiences playing them. You may remember that I said that Balengu Vortex was challenging for me to learn, but generally very consistent from the beginning. Bausha Vortex felt like almost the opposite. It was far easier for me to learn the gameplay, but getting progress from zero was much harder. A lot of that was because, while I think the level is generally very good, it does have some unfortunate choke points, with 61% being by far the biggest one. Generally though, I would say it was a good experience, even if it did get a bit annoying in some spots. Finally, we have Cat Planet, a level I played for no other reason than to complete one final Extreme Demon before the end of 2024. Unfortunately, while I hate to say this, Cat Planet was probably my least favorite of the levels on this list. My main complaint is that it just felt incredibly random in the way it was balanced and the way it played in general. Some sections of gameplay were very simple and easy to learn, while other parts were just ridiculous. Specifically, I didn't like the use of fake slopes and blocks. A lot of 9 circles levels use them, but they are absolutely everywhere in Cat Planet, often with bizarre hitboxes. In all honesty though, I can't complain all that much since I was able to complete the level fairly quickly. So there you are, every Extreme Demon I completed in 2024. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it or what your experience with these levels was like. But whether you choose to share those or not, I hope you had a great 2024, and I will see you in the new year.